your face isn't aging. It's undefended. 004 And there is a very specific difference between those two things. An aging face is inevitable. An undefended one is a choice you didn't know you were making, every single day, without a single product or procedure involved. 098 Secrets. So ordinary they don't even sound like secrets. Nothing your dermatologist has time to mention in a 15-minute appointment, nothing a skincare ad will ever put on a bottle, because none of them cost anything to buy. But together, they explain why a 55-year-old woman in Kyoto can look a decade younger than a 45-year-old anywhere else, without a single injection. Stay with me until secret number 8, because number 8 is the one that makes the other 7 actually work. Without it, you'll try these for 2 weeks and quietly stop. With it, the whole thing becomes something you don't even have to remember to do anymore. But first, secret number 3 is the one that's going to surprise you, because number 3 has nothing to do with skincare, nothing to do with sun exposure, and takes about 90 seconds. 90 seconds, and it may do more for how old your face looks than anything currently sitting on your bathroom shelf. Let's begin. Most of us think about aging the wrong way. We treat it as something that happens to us, a countdown that starts at a certain birthday, that we try to interrupt with a serum here, a procedure there, whenever the mirror starts telling us something we don't want to hear. We fight visible damage after it shows up, then wait for the next round to appear. Japan doesn't approach aging that way. In Japan, looking young is not a rescue mission. It is a set of quiet, almost boring daily behaviors, repeated so consistently over decades that visible aging simply never gets the momentum it needs to take hold. There is a concept behind this called Hifu no Kenko, skin health as an extension of internal health, not a surface to be treated separately from the body underneath it. And there is a broader idea called Mono no Aware, a gentle awareness of impermanence that, paradoxically, produces less stress about aging, not more, and stress itself is one of the fastest agers there is. 8 Secrets. Each one almost insultingly simple. Each one the difference between a face that shows every year that's passed and one that quietly holds its ground. Let's go through every single one. Secret number 1. Double cleansing, every single night, no exceptions. You've probably heard the words double cleanse before. I want you to stay with me for a moment, because most people hear this and think it's just a slightly fussier way to wash your face. It is not just that. It's the difference between skin that can actually absorb what you put on it and skin that's been quietly blocked all night. Here's what's actually happening when you skip it. Sunscreen, pollution residue, and the day's oil buildup are largely oil-based, and a single water-based cleanser doesn't fully break that layer down. Research on cleansing efficacy has found that an oil-based first cleanse removes substantially more residual buildup than a single-step wash alone, leaving a second, water-based cleanse to actually reach the skin underneath. Skip step 1, and you're not cleaning your face each night. You're pushing the day's residue slightly deeper and calling it clean. In Japan, this 2-step ritual is treated as non-negotiable, not a luxury step, a baseline one. It's the reason skin there can absorb a following serum properly instead of sitting on top of a barrier that was never fully cleared. This is not about buying more product. It's about removing what's actually in the way before you add anything at all. The shift, the difference between 1 cleanse and 2 isn't marginal. It's the difference between skin that repairs itself overnight and skin that spends the night working around a layer that shouldn't be there. That is secret number 1. Now, secret number 2 is where this gets interesting, because it's something almost every Western skincare routine gets backwards. Secret number 2. Hydration before actives, not the other way around. This sounds like a minor sequencing detail. It is not minor, because applying a strong active, a retinol, an acid, a vitamin C, onto dry skin doesn't make it more effective. It makes it more likely to irritate, and irritated skin ages faster, not slower. Here is the mechanism. A properly hydrated skin barrier is what actually determines how well an active ingredient is absorbed and tolerated. Apply an active onto compromised, dry skin, and you get inflammation instead of results, and chronic low-grade inflammation is one of the primary accelerants of visible skin aging, breaking down collagen faster than sun exposure alone in some studies. The Japanese layering method, sometimes described through the broader idea of skin-first skincare, always builds hydration in multiple light layers before anything active goes on. Not one heavy cream. Several thin layers of water-based hydration, patted in, before a single active touches the skin. The shift, the same active ingredient, applied to hydrated skin instead of dry skin, produces visibly better results with a fraction of the irritation, because you're not fighting your own barrier to get there. That is secret number 2. Now, secret number 3, the 90-second habit I told you about at the start. Stay right here, because this one is going to sound too small to matter, and then you'll do it for a week and understand exactly why it's on this list. Secret number 3. Facial massage during your existing skincare routine. Not a separate appointment. Not a tool you have to buy, although the gua sha stone and the jade roller are the versions people recognize, the actual habit is simpler than either. 90 seconds of outward pressure while you apply your moisturizer, every single night, using the product you're already holding in your hand. Slow down here, because I know what you're thinking. You're thinking a face massage can't actually change how your skin looks. Here's what it's actually doing. Facial massage increases localized blood circulation and lymphatic drainage, and research on lymphatic stimulation has shown it can measurably reduce facial puffiness and improve skin tone within minutes, with cumulative structural benefits to skin firmness when done consistently over weeks. You are not relaxing your face. You are training it. In Japan, this is tied to the broader concept of kaizen applied to the body, continuous, tiny, almost invisible improvement rather than occasional intense intervention. 90 seconds a night is nothing. 90 seconds a night for 15 years is a completely different jawline than someone who never did it at all. The shift, you already hold your moisturizer in your hand every single night. The only thing missing is 90 seconds of technique, and that 90 seconds compounds into a difference a serum alone can never produce. That is secret number 3. And now secret number 4, and this one is going to challenge something you were taught to think of as healthy. Secret number 4. Treating sun protection as a year-round habit, not a summer one. Most Americans apply sunscreen when it's hot, when they're at the beach, when the sun feels aggressive. On a cloudy February morning, it stays in the drawer. Here is why that's a critical gap. UVA rays, the ones responsible for the majority of visible photoaging, as opposed to sunburn, pass through cloud cover and window glass essentially unchanged. Dermatological research consistently identifies cumulative, low-grade daily UVA exposure, not occasional intense sunburn, as the single largest external driver of wrinkles, sagging, and dark spots over a lifetime. In Japan, sunscreen, and often a physical barrier like a parasol or wide-brimmed hat, is applied as a daily habit regardless of season or forecast, closer to brushing your teeth than to a summer ritual. This is why the visible age gap tends to show up most obviously around the eyes and cheeks, the areas most exposed to daily incidental light that a seasonal-only routine never protects. The shift, a face protected 365 days a year and one protected 90 summer days a year receive roughly the same total UV exposure difference as smoking a few cigarettes a day, every single day, for decades. It's not the intense exposure that ages you fastest. It's the exposure you never thought to prevent. That is secret number 4. Now, secret number 5 is the one most people associate with weight, never realizing it's actually one of the most powerful anti-aging habits on this entire list. Secret number 5. Eating to roughly 80% full, every single meal. This is the principle of Hara Hachi Bu, stopping before you feel completely full, as a permanent default, not an occasional diet rule. Here is the mechanism behind why this affects your face specifically. Caloric restriction, even mild, sustained restriction like consistently eating to 80% rather than 100%, has been linked in longevity research to reduced systemic inflammation and slower cellular aging markers. Chronic overeating, by contrast, keeps the body in a low-grade inflammatory state, and inflammation is directly tied to collagen breakdown, one of the primary structural causes of sagging and fine lines. This isn't a calorie restriction diet in the Western sense. It's a portion ceiling, applied automatically, meal after meal, for an entire lifetime, which is a very different thing from an occasional detox or cleanse. The shift, the 20% of a meal you don't need isn't just extra calories. It's extra inflammatory load your skin has to absorb the cost of every single day, compounding for decades. That is secret number 5. And now secret number 6, which is where sleep finally enters the conversation, because everything up to this point has quietly depended on it. Secret number 6. Sleeping on your back, or actively minimizing side sleep pressure on the face. This sounds almost too small to matter. It is not too small, because a side sleeper spends roughly 7 to 8 hours a night with direct, repeated mechanical pressure on one side of the face, and that pressure is cumulative in exactly the way a crease in fabric becomes permanent after enough repetition. Here is the research behind it. Dermatologists have documented a measurable asymmetry in wrinkle depth and skin laxity between the habitual sleep side and the opposite side of the face in long-term side sleepers, a pattern sometimes referred to as sleep lines, distinct from expression lines, because they form from pressure rather than movement. In Japan, the traditional low pillow and firm futon sleeping setup naturally discourages the deep face-burying side position common with thick Western pillows, and back sleeping is more commonly the default. This isn't styled as an anti-aging technique. It's simply how the sleep setup happens to be structured, with a side effect almost nobody names out loud. The shift, the same face, slept on flat for 8 hours a night instead of pressed into a pillow, ages asymmetrically slower on the side that was never compressed, a difference you can often see directly in the mirror after enough years. That is secret number 6. Now, secret number 7, and this one has nothing to do with what touches your skin at all. Secret number 7. Treating stress as a skincare variable, not a separate category of health. Most people separate my skin routine from my stress levels completely, two unrelated boxes on a life checklist. Here is why that separation doesn't hold up. Chronic stress elevates cortisol, and elevated cortisol directly breaks down collagen and elastin, the two structural proteins primarily responsible for skin firmness. Studies on cortisol and skin aging have found that sustained high-stress periods can visibly accelerate fine lines and skin thinning within a matter of months, independent of any change in skincare routine at all. Japan's approach to this is less a single technique and more a cultural through-line, the concept of mono no aware, a gentle acceptance of impermanence, alongside deliberately unhurried rituals like tea preparation, that function as built-in stress regulation rather than an afterthought squeezed in after a stressful day. The goal isn't eliminating stress. It's not letting it run unmanaged for years at a time. The shift, the most expensive serum in the world, cannot outpace what unmanaged chronic stress does to collagen. Manage the stress, and the serum finally gets to do its job. That is secret number 7. Now, secret number 8, the one I told you at the very start makes all 7 of the others actually work. Stay here, because this is the most important thing in this entire video. Secret number 8. Consistency over intensity, never skipping the small version, even on a bad day. This one is not about any single product or technique. It's about the standard you've unconsciously set for what counts as doing your routine. Here is what I mean. Most people have an all-or-nothing idea of skincare. A full routine, cleanse, tone, essence, serum, moisturizer, SPF, or nothing at all. And on the night you're too tired for the full version, nothing at all quietly wins, again and again, until skipped nights outnumber complete ones. Japan's approach avoids this trap entirely. The philosophy of Kaizen, small, continuous improvement, treats a shortened, imperfect version of the routine as infinitely more valuable than a perfect version done occasionally. A rushed double cleanse and a moisturizer, done every single night without fail, will outperform an elaborate 10-step routine done twice a week, every time, because skin aging responds to what happens consistently over years, not to what happens perfectly on your best nights. The shift, you don't need the full routine every night. You need a minimum version you will never skip, because a 60% routine done for 15 years produces a younger face than a 100% routine done for 15 scattered nights a year. That is secret number 8. Here is everything in one breath. Double cleanse, every night, no exceptions. Hydrate before you apply anything active. 90 seconds of facial massage while you moisturize. Sunscreen in every season, not just summer. Eat to 80% full, every meal. Protect your face while you sleep. Treat stress as part of your skincare, not separate from it. And never skip the small version, even on your worst night. 8 secrets. None of them require a procedure. None of them require a product you don't already own. Every single one begins tonight, the next time you reach for your cleanser or lie down to sleep. Your face isn't aging faster than it should because of bad genetics. It's aging faster because nobody ever handed you these 8 habits, while every ad on your phone was busy selling you the expensive alternative instead. Now you have them. So here's what I want from you before you close this video. Right now, tell me in the comments which one of these 8 you're most guilty of skipping. Is it number 1, are you single cleansing and calling it done? Is it number 4, is your sunscreen sitting untouched in a drawer right now because it's cloudy outside? Is it number 8, do you only do your full routine on good days and skip it entirely on bad ones? Tell me the number, 1 through 8, in the comments right now, because naming it is the first step, and someone reading your comment might recognize their own routine in it and finally decide to change it. If this changed how you think about aging, send it to the one person whose skin you've quietly admired and wondered how they do it. They're 8 small habits away from 10 years no one can quite explain. I'll see you in the next one.